You see, this year, a motoring icon is celebrating its 40th birthday.
Richard Hammond?
No, he's 38.
Oh, yeah.
Same as he was last year and the year before. Mind it was his birthday next week, isn't it?
Oh, it is, actually. Then he'll be 38.
Yes, all right. Funny.
The 38-year-old Richard
Yes,
Hammond.
I am. Thank you very much. This motoring icon, though, it's an important one. And to celebrate its birthday, we had to go somewhere really special.
To here, in fact, the Riviera, the legendary stretch of coastline which for decades has been the spiritual home of playboys, movie stars and the jet set.
Which sort of makes it the perfect place for one of the all-time great jet set cars.
The Ferrari Daytona. It may take its name from a racetrack in America, but trust me, the Daytona is the absolute essence of pure European supercar. Drop-dead gorgeous looks, stunning speed, born in Italy.
I'm going to take it for a drive now from here, Portofino, which is a sort of Italian Whitby, along the coast to Tropez. And even though it's 40 years old, this is the perfect machine for the job.
No, it isn't.
Yes, it is.
Well, it isn't.
Well, it just is. That's why I'm here with it.
It isn't. Not anymore.
What is?
Well, it's a boat. Not that one. This one. What we have here is the XSR 48, or, in plain English, the only way to get around on the Riviera. Not only is it stunning to look at, it's also the world's fastest diesel production boat, with a top speed of 80 miles an hour.
James, this is from the future. You're from 1948.
Yes, I know you think that, but I like modern, intelligent engineering solutions. And this is one. But this is a carbon fibre racing hull that's won World Powerboat Championships, and then they've put, you know, some nice seats and switches, sat-nav.
James was adamant that this wasn't just some rich man's vulgar toy.
So,
What?
Mr. May, defend this.
Ah.
Yeah.
Yes, I was hoping you wouldn't.
That is a carbon fibre bog.
Yeah, it is.
To prove to James, of all people, that the old ways are the best, I offered to race him to Tropez. Him in his carbon fibre convenience, and me in the greatest Grand Tourer ever made.
How much is that worth, by the way?
That one, £200,000.
£1.25 million.
Chav.
Move your scrap off the harbour.
The start of the race wasn't exactly dramatic. There was a 3-knot speed limit in the harbour, and my car was, well, 40 years old.
These old Daytonas take a while to warm up, and you have to sort of skip second gear, go straight to third for a while, until the gearbox is kind of up to temperature. Otherwise, it sort of explodes.
While his 215-mile route was 40 miles longer than mine, Hammond was convinced he'd be able to maintain a higher average speed. But once my cabin cruiser was out onto the open water, it would turn into a ferocious powerboat racer. And for that reason, I couldn't drive it on my own. This is Peter. He's a many times world powerboat champion, holds powerboat endurance records. He's doing the tricky throttle and trim stuff. I'm doing the steering and the nav. How fast are we going? 9 knots.
And we need to go in the right direction. We're going completely the wrong way at the moment.
Hang on, it's that way, isn't it?
The autostrada beckoned.
This is it.
The Daytona shouldn't really have to defend its honour on its birthday. But if James wanted a race, he'd get one.
4.4-litre Italian V12 unleashed.
Right, here we go. 1,600 shaft horsepower. That's more than 1.5 times what a Bugatti Veyron has got. 45 knots, so 50 mile an hour.
And here's a tunnel. I'll have to open the window a little bit. I'm sorry about the wind, but... Oh, that really is spine-tingling.
70 miles an hour across the water, that's fabulous. This boat has been conceived like a supercar. It's very powerful, very, very light, very agile, has just enough trim and creature comforts to make it bearable, but that's all. It is a hardcore performance machine.
My supercar doesn't have a space-age car seat, but it does have infinitely more pedigree.
What's odd about the Daytona is that if somebody says to you, Ferrari Daytona, even if you've never been in one, if you've never even seen one, it just sounds right. You know, with a name like that, it's not going to be a minger. These days, it takes many months and many millions to design a new car. The Daytona, 7 days. And just look at it. It's absolutely sublime.
On the water, I had no time for Hammond's misty-eyed Mills and Boonery.
Whole town's just racing by. I know exactly what's going on in Richard Hammond's mind. He's got a romantic vision of, I don't know, Sophia Loren and the Shah of Persia and all those people, but it's different now. This place is full of Puffy Dad and New York Hilton. This is the modern way to do it.
As long as I'm not driving.
One on your 10 o'clock, go behind him.
I've got him.
When it was launched in 1968, the Daytona cost £10,000, making it the most expensive Ferrari ever. But not everyone thought it was worth the money.
A year earlier, Lamborghini had brought out the Miura, and that was impossibly futuristic, mid-engined. It was really showing the way forwards for supercars. And yet, here was Ferrari with a front-engine car. In its day, it was seen as a bit of a dinosaur.
But the Daytona had the last laugh.
Because of the Miura's front-end lift at high speeds, it started to go very light because aerodynamically it didn't quite work. It could never get near its top speed. This could, 174.
30 miles into my journey, the water was getting a bit choppier, but I wasn't worried.
My seat here is suspended with sort of suspension units off a Paris-Dakar racer. And the technique apparently is to relax, let the seat take the battering. Oh!
40 miles into my journey, and something rather perverse was happening.
You're actually watching a man go through the process of falling in love. It's not perfect, this new love of mine. I'd heard stories about the incredibly heavy steering and the clutch. It's a bit like a big Italian V12 engine truck. And all of those things are true. Operating the steering wheel is like turning one of those hatch wheels on a submarine in a World War II film. But the Daytona brings back the glamour. It reminds the Riviera what the Riviera is all about.